Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I'm down here at the brand new Motech premises, which is absolutely amazing. I'm going to give you a little tour of it shortly. I've taken my G80 M3 down here to get some protective mesh fitted in front of some of the exposed radiators. The problem with so many modern supercars and sports cars like the M3 and the M4 is there's lots of exposed radiators, especially through BMW's rather large new grills. To be fair to BMW, a lot of them are now covered with plastic radiator guards, but some of the lower ones, which are probably most prone to getting stones in them, are still exposed. So I think it's the air conditioning one along the bottom. It's completely open and there's massive gaps, so you could literally get stones and rocks in there, especially when you're on a road tour and following other cars closely. In a couple of days, I'm off on the Petrolhead Tours around Spain, and the only issue with those tours is stone chips on your paintwork, which is fine because I have lots of PPF around the front end thanks to Ceramic Pro UK. But the radiators are the next things to go, and the last thing you want on day 1 or 2 of the tour is one of your radiators getting punctured, because there's nothing you can physically do about it. You have to pull over, you have to find a BMW centre, they have to get the stuff in stock, and you'll be lucky to get your car fixed by the end of the tour, so you probably end up sitting out most of it. Last year, Ash actually did it to the front of his M2 competition, and he's actually done it to one of his friends' BMWs too, so he knows what he's doing. He's very mechanically minded, Ash, and I really think it's something that he should work on offering as a service for, well, not just BMW owners, but other manufacturers out there. I've actually got a brand new 992 911 at home, and that thing is just gaping exposed radiators around the front end. Again, one big stone in the wrong place at the wrong time and you've damaged your radiator. Not only is it thousands of pounds of damage, it's also a pain in the arse because you end up with a car that needs to go onto a flatbed truck and get fixed. I just wanted to point out that this isn't a normal thing that Mike and Motech offer. They don't hire out their ramps. They're just very quiet today because they've just moved into this new premises, and Mike very kindly said that Ash and I could come down for a couple hours to do this. Let's go and have a quick walk around their new premises, and then I'm taking the car off to somewhere else to get something else done before I jump on that ferry down to Spain in a couple of days' time. Okay, so this is the workshop essentially. We've now got 2 jacks for cars and a detailing bay, which we'll get to in a bit. Let's go in the main door. Minute you walk in, really cool, loads of branded signs. The detail in here is just amazing. Considering they've been here less than 2 weeks, you wouldn't know it. The lounge. So this is where customers will wait for their car to be done, and it is amazing in here, absolutely stunning. There's an air conditioner up there to keep you cool, and this is like a mirrored glass, so people can't see in but you can see out. It's a really, really nice place to sit. Big TV, magazines to read, etc. Some of the new Motech wheels down there, and just lots of trinkets, lots of things to look at while you're sitting here to spend your money on later on. EBC floating discs, in fact the same ones that I've got in the front of my M2 competition. So, and you leave here, you walk down the hallway, again just lovely branding everywhere. Workspace, so if you come down here you need to work while your car's getting sorted, well, you can close yourself away in here. There's a nice desk, some power, etc. Obviously there's Wi-Fi here, so really nice place to hide yourself away. How cool are those toilet signs? Obviously Motech branding turned upside down for the woman. Really cool, really, really nice. And then inside, I mean, they're just lovely, really, really nice. I know you weren't expecting a toilet tour on a Joe Achilles video, but there you go, really cool. And then we keep going, we've got a kitchen, we've got another office here. That's going to be Tony Lewis's office apparently, because that is where the detailing bay is, which we'll get to in a second. The studio, so this is where they shoot a lot of the detail shots. In here, obviously some clothing in there. the warehouse. So this leads into the workshop, as you can imagine. Loads of stuff in here. And in fact, this shelf is my shelf. Mike very kindly stores all of my M2 parts along here. So a lot of the original parts are still up there that he's had for a couple of years now. That goes through to the workshop, which we'll come through now. So again, more shelving with lots of stock everywhere. Look at this. This is all sold stuff. You can see cars that are waiting to come in. Everything has to be so organized because he has so much booked in over the next couple of months. It's unbelievable. So these are all waiting for customers to come in, or some of it might be mail order as well, obviously, he ships it out. But I just find this all fascinating. These are all Maxton kits, etc. Some wheels down there, obviously all the eye-back springs, more wheels here, just everything. And then this is the other side of that detailing bay, as you can see. So this is really cool. This is going to be completely new for Motech. Just watch this space. Stay tuned to Motech to see what they're going to do. But obviously ceramic coating, etc. Is going to go on in there, and they're going to have an actual dedicated detailer who comes in a couple of times a week to do detailing. But as you can see from here, it's a really, really big workshop with lots going on. And there is Mr. Ash, the star of the show, who's fitted the radiator guards. Big thanks to Mike Motech. Make sure you check out their YouTube channel and their Instagram, etc. He joined me about 48 hours later, and I'm heading down to Portsmouth to catch a ferry to Spain and start the Petrolhead Tours. I'm really excited. I am exhausted. I'm feeling mentally exhausted because I've had to do so many things before leaving, editing videos, just getting all the logistics for the trip right, changing the tyres on this G80 M3 competition again. So I've now taken off the Cup 2s, which I use for the Michelin Cup 2 Connect video that you've hopefully seen, and I've put my PS4Ss back on again, the star marked ones. In terms of the weather, well, I've timed it very well because we've had, I'd say, about 2.5 weeks of beautiful sunshine in the UK, and now it looks like there's a week of rain and the temperatures are dropping, whereas where we're going in Spain, that's going to be about 28, 29 degrees, maybe even a little bit higher at the end of next week. I'm not going on this Petrolhead Tours with Patrick, unfortunately for a lot of you guys and girls, because Patrick does some mega Petrolhead Tour edits and he's always on top of it, editing in the evenings, etc. This is actually going to be more of a holiday, and in fact I have my lovely other half sitting next to me, and yeah, she's going to get to enjoy this trip. Not as much as me, obviously, because I'm going to be behind the wheel most of the time, but really looking forward to it. Talking of behind the wheel, well, some of you might have noticed that my steering wheel is now covered in Alcantara, and it has an orange strip at the top to go with the Kailami orange interior of this car. Yes, yesterday I headed over to see my good buddy Jack at Royal Steering Wheels. For those of you that don't know about Jack and Royal, I'll put a link to their Instagram and website below in the description. Jack has retrimmed many of my wheels, I think since my M140. He's retrimmed the one on my M2 a couple of times, and now he's done this one, and it's absolutely mega. He has removed a tiny bit of the padding, hasn't been able to take too much out, but that's not too bad because the G80 and G82 wheels are actually slightly thinner, or the rims, out of the factory, so it feels almost perfect. It's not quite as thin and trim as the one in my M2 competition, but I really like it. Feels great. We've got the M stitching and the orange stripe at the top, but check him out. Honestly, his pricing is just beyond reasonable, and he's a real passionate. He does wheels for lots of people off the record as well. I'm going to leave the video here, guys, because I'm going to crack on. There's a lot of traffic on the road, and as I said, a few minutes ago, I am feeling a little bit exhausted, so maybe I'll share with you some shots of some of the cars that are boarding the ferry, and I'll look at editing a couple of videos of the Petrolhead Tours when I'm back. So I'll bring you along for some of the better adventures when we're out there, some of the best roads, etc., and hopefully be able to share some of that experience with you lot, but don't expect any very witty and funny Patrick edits. Cool, thanks a lot for watching. As always, I hope you enjoyed this video. Massive shout out and thanks to Ash for doing all of the mesh, Mike and Motech for allowing us to use their stand, and Jack at Royal Steering Wheels for getting this wheel done in a real short turnaround and doing a superb job as always. Cheers guys, I'll see you at the next one.